Pravin Kumar Jagannath, Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Member of the National Assembly, Mr. Nayan Kumar Bala, Chairperson, Mauritius Revenue Authority Board, members of the Board of the Mauritius Revenue Authority, Mr. Sudhamulal, Director General, Mauritius Revenue Authority, Mr. Vivekanand Rambaran, Director, Customs Department, Directors, Mauritius Revenue Authority, President, MRA Staff Association, valued stakeholders, distinguished guests, members of the press, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good morning, bonjour. We are gathered today for the inauguration of the Integrated Customs Clearance Center. 2 years ago, we were gathered here under a tent for the laying of the foundation stone, and today we can say we are harvesting what we planted. We are now in a modern, state-of-the-art building awaiting its inauguration. It is said that patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. 2 years ago, the ceremony for the laying of the foundation stone was confirmed at the last minute due to bad weather, and when construction started, we had to go through 2 lockdowns, and today we are here in limited numbers. However, the essential thing is that the building is ready and may be regarded as a jewel in the crown. Ladies and gentlemen, today is also the International Customs Day, which is celebrated by the international customs community every 26 January to commemorate the first meeting of the Customs Cooperation Council in 1953. Every year, the WCO sets a theme on which customs administrations are invited to focus and work for its achievement through targeted activities. The International Customs Day this year is dedicated to scaling up customs digital transformation by embracing a data culture and building a data ecosystem. On this, I will now invite Mr. Vivekanand Rambaran, Director, Customs Department, to deliver his message on this occasion. Mr. Rambaran, please.
The Honorable Pravin Kumar Jagannath, Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, Mr. Nayan Kumar Bala, Chairman of the MRA, MRA Board members, MRA management team members, MRA staff, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a warm welcome to the Integrated Customs Clearance Center as a planned mayor. At the very outset, I wish to thank our chief guest, the Honorable Prime Minister, for his presence today to celebrate 2 events, the annual International Customs Day and the inauguration of the ICC building. Ladies and gentlemen, the ICC houses on the same roof government agencies involved in the processing of permits and authorization for the clearance of import, export, and transit goods by air and by sea as well. I would like to highlight that about 65% of our tariff line requires some sort of authorization or some sort of permit. And this measure, bringing all agencies under one roof, is in line with the trade facilitation agreement of the WTO, which we have signed, and which is aimed at reducing cost of doing business for economic operators. The ICC building comprises of modern space, a sophisticated auditorium, this one, fully equipped training rooms, a central CCTV control room, kennels and distancing yards for sniffer dogs. I would also like to highlight that the building has been accommodated with 3 detention cells, which have been designed in compliance with a specification from the Human Rights Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the government is sparing no effort in the fight against the trafficking of illicit drugs and narcotics. At the MRA, we share the same passion: zero tolerance for illicit drugs and narcotics. During the past years, MRA has made huge seizures of different types of drugs and psychotropic substances the value of around 4.9 billion rupees. This would not have been possible without the unflinching support of the government in providing us with the necessary human resources as well as funds for the acquisition of modern tools and equipment such as scanners, sniffer dogs, patrol boats, CCTV systems, and drones. Over the years, we have noticed an upsurge in the number of cases of drug swallowers at the airport. Accordingly, we are pleased to announce the launching of a state-of-the-art whole-body scanner to detect corporeal concealments together with a drug glue facility. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, we are also launching two new projects. The first one is an e-duty-free certificate, which is an online platform to expedite the application of duty remission on motor vehicles for eligible persons. The second project is an e-courier project, which will enable courier operators as well as members of the public to submit simplified declaration and effect payment online to clear courier consignments. Ladies and gentlemen, the ICD, International Customs Day theme for the year, concerns the digital transformation of customs administration. The slogan reads as follows: scaling up custom digital transformation by embracing a data culture and building a data ecosystem. As the MOD, we have fully dematerialized submission of custom declaration since 2012 through the electronic submission of documents and electronic payment of custom duties and taxes. In line with the ICD team, we have several projects in the pipeline, such as the Integrated Single Window project, which is a platform for the single submission of documents for the processing of import, export, and transit, and for the clearance of those goods. Electronic bill of lading platform. Today we have got paper-based bill of lading. This will be secured by a blockchain technology from end to end. And then at Port Louis, we are having a centralized control center for the monitoring of live images of CCTV camera, but this will also be coming together with body-worn camera and scanners. So there will be a complete sort of a monitoring system at the port. Moreover, I would like to mention that MOD has fully migrated to HS 2022, which is a harmonized system for the classification of goods. And this on this 1st January 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, every year, MOD awards WCO, World Customs Organization, Certificate of Merit to deserving custom officers as well as other stakeholders. And I see this opportunity to congratulate the 17 awardees of the Certificate of Merit and thank them wholeheartedly for their outstanding contribution. The Honorable Prime Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for your attention, and I wish all customs officers a happy International Customs Day. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Praveen Kumar Jagannath, Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of the Assembly, Mr. Nayan Kumar Bala, Chairman of the MRA and Cabinet Secretary, MRA Board members, the management team of the MRA, Mr. Anil Chattar, the late project manager, President of the Staff Association, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this function organized by the Mauritius Revenue Authority. First of all, allow me to express my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister Praveen Kumar Jagannath for kindly accepting our invitation to grace this function.
We shall always remember that you were with us when we inaugurated the Customs House, celebrated our 10th anniversary, launched the negative income tax allowance scheme, and laid the foundation stone of this very building exactly 2 years ago. Thank you, sir, for finding the time to celebrate with our major milestones despite your busy schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a famous saying, and I quote, "The past cannot be changed, forgotten, edited, or erased. It can only be accepted." Honorable Prime Minister, your name is written in gold letters in the history of Mauritius Revenue Authority as the one who sowed the first seed that created this organization. It was when, as Minister of Finance, you introduced the MRA bill in the National Assembly. Today, Honorable Prime Minister, the seed you had sown has grown into a tree that is slightly more than 15 years old. It's still a teen compared to other organizations which are celebrating their silver or golden jubilees. But even as teen, it has a track record that I'm sure will make its founding fathers proud. When the MRA was set up in July 2006, the objective was to reform revenue administration in Mauritius and generate efficiency gains for the government, MRA stakeholders, and the public at large. 15 years down the line, it may be an appropriate time to gauge whether the much anticipated efficiency gains have materialized. And I would like to highlight in some of them. The most important performance indicator for the MRA is the amount of revenue it collects for the state. We reached our highest receipt of rupees 98.4 billion in year 18-19 before the COVID pandemic crept in. The annual growth in MRA revenue prior to the pandemic has been more than 9% on average, much higher than the nominal GDP growth over the same period. Another area where we have generated efficiency gains is in terms of the quality of taxpayer services we offer to individual taxpayers. We have brought technology at their doorstep so that they can seek assistance, send returns, pay tax, and view submitted returns, all electronically. With the pandemic situation, we introduced virtual assistance for individual taxpayers having difficulty to complete their tax return. They can take advantage of this e-FITA virtual facility on any day at any time convenient to them during the income tax filing season. The very fact that the MRA now receives almost 100% of returns and 97% of tax payments electronically is a matter of pride for all those who have been associated with this project. The business community has also witnessed substantial improvements in our services during the last 15 years. As most of you are aware, Mauritius was in the 5th position worldwide in the last World Bank Ease of Doing Business survey, insofar as the ease of paying taxes index is concerned. This in itself is a big achievement and is in line with the vision of the MRA, which is to be a world-class revenue authority. Our friends in the business sector may have surely observed the transformation undergone over the years, be it in the tax or customs area. For instance, in tax operations, we have reformed our system and procedure to address the cash liquidity concerns of VAT registered persons having VAT refund claims. Today, more than 90% of VAT refunds are effected within less than 20 days. Similarly, at the ports, our endeavor is to release imported cargo within the least possible time using a risk-based approach. Currently, the dwell time for imported cargo at customs is only around 30 minutes for the green channel. For the red channel, the dwell time is 6 hours for air cargo and 13 hours for sea cargo. The Mauritian society has also been a key beneficiary of the sustained improvement in MRA's performance through the prevention of the entry of narcotics in the country. Although the fight against drug trafficking is not our sole responsibility, we have nonetheless, over the past 5 years, made unprecedented seizures with a cumulative street value of rupees 4.9 billion. This would not have been possible without the conditional support of the government to equip the MRA customs with the latest of the art technology such as drones, fast interception patrol boats, X-ray scanners, body-worn cameras, advanced passenger information system and passenger name record, yacht and player boat monitoring system, amongst others. To that end, I would like to thank you once again, the Honorable Prime Minister and also the Minister of Finance, who have always supported us by financing the purchase of the necessary equipment to track down illicit activity at our borders. Government, as an important stakeholder of the MRA, has also benefited from the efficiency gains generated by the organization, especially efficiency gains in IT, operations, and finance. Over and above our traditional tax collection function, we have over time been given additional responsibilities by government in terms of providing financial assistance under the negative income tax, special allowance scheme, the COVID-19 related wage assistance and self-employed assistance schemes, the financial support for payment of some salary compensation to SMEs, and the payments of subsidies on essential products. During the COVID lockdown, we have assisted directly or indirectly around 450,000 employees and self-employed persons. In the tourism sector, the financial support to some 43,000 persons has continued until December 21. In terms of the schemes which are still ongoing, I would like to mention that the MRA is effecting some 42,000 monthly payments under the negative income tax, while some 850 SMEs are being refunded salary compensation every month so that around 18,000 employees can benefit from higher salaries. Ladies and gentlemen, it would not have been possible for the MRA to undertake the various social assistance functions I mentioned earlier without the continuous automation of its operations. Strong leadership and commitment and a dedicated, hardworking and flexible person. I would like to seize the opportunity being given to me today to solemnly recognize the efforts of the MRA staff in taking up several new assignments and ensuring their timely completion for the benefit of the nation. Recently, the MRA has been tasked with the collection of Social Security contributions. When we took over NPF collections, we have ensured an increase of 12% in receipts through taxpayer facilitation, electronic filing, and proper monitoring. The MRA has also been an engaged partner of government for the implementation of the CSG, where the monthly collections are currently at rupees 600 million as compared to rupees 400 million under the NPF. As a revenue authority, our primary responsibility remains the maximization of revenues for the government. The attainment of such an objective, especially getting people to pay more tax, is easier said than done. We continuously have to deal with novel means of evading tax, including by high-income earners. I recall that some time back we unveiled schemes used by local wealthy people to import vehicles without payment of excise duties by taking advantage of the returning residents schemes. We discovered some 20 people who misused the scheme to avoid around 40 million rupees of excise duty and referred the cases to the police for prosecution. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate two special events. The first is the International Customs Day, and the second is the inauguration of a new brand building, which is the Integrated Customs Clearance Center. The recent COVID-19 lockdown brought to light the importance of customs in the supply chain. Our custom officers are not only engaged in the narcotics CS and society protection, but also have to face very atypical situation while performing their duties. One recent example is the unexpected discovery by MRA Customs on the 1st of January this year in the toilet of an Air Mauritius flight from Madagascar of a newborn and a live baby covered with tissue paper inside the toilet bin. I'm informed that our officers have saved the life of this newborn on account of their timely, meticulous, and in-depth rummage exercise. May the good work continue. Director Customs has already given details of the new jewel in the crown of the MRA, the International Customs Clearance Center. We are thankful to our policymakers for this new one-stop shop in the airport region to reduce dwell time of both passengers and air cargo. The ICCC is also an environmentally friendly building which has been aesthetically designed to protect human health and to improve productivity. It is eco-friendly with photovoltaic cells, rain harvesting system, and with more natural light. Our custom officers now have two state-of-the-art buildings, one near the port, that is the custom house, and another near the airport. Before concluding, I would like to make a small request to the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. It emanates mainly from our non-custom officers, that is those in tax operations. These officers are currently housed in 3 separate buildings, and in one of these buildings, we have already exceeded the maximum capacity in terms of staff accommodation. As the organization grows and undertakes new assignments, it will need a full-fledged revenue house to accommodate all non-custom staff in one building. as well as adequate parking facilities for MRA stakeholders and staff. Hence, my humble appeal for your kind assistance in identifying the relevant site for a revenue house for the MRA. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my best wishes to all custom officers on the occasion of the International Customs Day, and will thank all the honorable ministers and other stakeholders to be with us. I believe that there's no better gift to our custom officers on this special day than being offered a brand new state-of-the-art and eco-friendly building. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, DG, for your leadership at the MRA for the past 16 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to watch 3 short videos. The first one is on the making of the Integrated Customs Clearance Center.
The Mauritius Revenue Authority is ready to offer a one-stop shop service for the expedient clearance of cargo. The Integrated Customs Clearance Center, the ICCC, presents itself as one of its kind within the cargo village. It's been exactly 2 years since the foundation stone of the ICCC was laid down by the Prime Minister Honorable Pravin Kumar Jagnat, that is on 26 January 2020. The ICCC comprises a major administrative block, a conference and training center, a canine compound, and a warehouse for the temporary storage of seized or detained goods, amongst other facilities. Works on the compound have been going on rigorously, jobs being performed days and nights to meet the deadline. Lockdowns and poor weather conditions complicated matters. Decision makers held meetings regularly to ensure that the execution of the project was done properly. An environmentally friendly building, the ICCC has been designed to integrate solar panels for the production of energy. The building ensures sustainability, being fitted with solar e-glasses, thus minimizing energy consumption. It also provides natural ventilation and natural lighting, thus adding value to its modern concept. Inside the administrative block, a welcoming space greets the stakeholder. Transactions take place under one roof and in a coordinated manner with various trade-related agencies and ministries, along with customs under the Coordinated Border Management Program of the WCO. Those agencies are namely the Dangerous Chemicals Control Board, the National Agricultural Products Regulatory Office, the National Plant Protection Office, the Veterinary Service Division, the Government Pharmacist, the Ministry of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, the Ministry of Commerce and Consumer Protection, and the Public Health and Food Safety Office. This one-stop shop service will reduce dwell time and associated costs. The conference center will be hosting workshops, trainings and seminars. Participants, both local and international, will be able to avail themselves of translation facilities. It is also equipped with multimedia facilities for the production and dissemination of training materials. The ICCC is more than just a one-stop shop for the clearance of cargo. It aims at taking customs services to higher levels, thus consolidating MRA's vision as a world-class revenue authority.
The second video is on the new projects of customs.
The Customs Department of the Mauritius Revenue Authority comes up with a series of innovative projects. An online service for the application of duty-free certificate for motor vehicles replaces recourse to at least 6 hard copies of the traditional application form. The application, processing and delivery of the duty-free certificate will henceforth be done electronically. The applicant will receive his duty-free certificate through email. To facilitate the huge volume of e-commerce trade and to expedite the clearance of consignments, the e-courier service allows courier operators as well as members of the public to submit simplified declarations and effect payment online. The e-courier service will be endowed with risk management features and logic capabilities for automatic identification of risky consignments at the time of submission of the declarations. The monitoring of seaport activities is crucial to strengthening our border protection. Live images from various sources converge towards a centralized control room at the customs headquarters and are monitored in real time. Those sources comprise images coming from MRA customs officers equipped with body-worn cameras, the scanning unit at the new container terminal, and CCTV cameras operated by private freight stations, the Mauritius Ports Authority, the Cargo Handling Corporation Limited, and the MRA. This major initiative aims at improving visibility and transparency. To further enhance control on crew members and other staff exiting the SSR International Airport, scanners have been installed at two strategic points, at the arrival hall and departure hall, for the screening of hand-carried luggage. In the same vein, one scanner has been installed at the VIP arrival lounge for the screening of hand-carried luggage of incoming VIP passengers. A whole-body scanner has been installed at the airport to enhance detection of passengers suspected of corporate concealment of drugs. Last but not least, a drug loo facility has been set up at the airport to assist in the safe recovery of packages containing illicit substances ingested by travelers. MRA Customs will keep on enhancing trade facilitation and border protection.
The third video is on the MRA position to meet new challenges.
Since its very inception on 1st July 2006, the MRA has kept its promise to pursue the rise in revenue collection year in, year out. By now, the MRA has remitted more than ₹1 trillion to the national treasury. That is, taxpayers have contributed more than ₹1,000 billion to the socio-economic development of Mauritius through the MRA during the last 15 years. Sustained by information and communication technologies, processes have been automated to make of the MRA a paperless organization. 97% of payments are made electronically. E-filing of returns has successfully attained the 100% goal. From its initial role as revenue collector, today the MRA is an important provider of financial assistance to the needy. It all started with the payment of negative income tax in 2017 and the special allowance in 2018. To cope with the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, more than ₹27 billion have been distributed by now under the Self-Employed Assistance Scheme and the Government Wage Assistance Scheme. Some 279,000 employments have been saved and some 262,000 self-employed individuals have been guaranteed a minimum subsistence. The MRA also avails to be an important player on the international scene through ATAF, Qatar and the WCU, with major strategic attributions assigned to it. The MRA has also honored its obligations towards the OECD, SADC and the IMF. The mantra at the MRA is threefold. People at the MRA manage the present effectively, they forget the past selectively, and they create the future today through breakthrough innovations.
The vision was to transform Mauritius tax administration and make MRA a efficient, effective and world-class revenue administration. This in fact was the biggest change management exercise in Mauritius, and it laid emphasis on trade and taxpayer facilitation, reducing the cost of doing business and reducing the cost of collections, promoting greater performance and efficiency with a new HR framework, better automation and simplification of procedures and processes.
From tons of paper to a paperless organization, processes at the MRA have been automated, offering taxpayers the possibility of doing business online at any time from anywhere. Filing of returns have never been so smart.
At the very inception, we decided to do more with less. Heavy investment was made in new technologies. A new integrated tax system was implemented. All processes were rationalized and re-engineered, and taxpayers were gradually shifted to e-filing, a new e-culture.
The Customs Department of the MRA has kept on consolidating its role as a border protector.
The Customs Modernization and Reform Program, which started in late 1995, was given a new boost since the inception of the MRA in 2006. What we did differently, we cannot modernize if other agents do not do so. So what we did is bring them all under one roof under the coordinated border management concept. We did the same thing regarding control at customs. You will see that we have seized drugs and illicit precursors, the value of 6.1 billion rupees for the past few years. How we did that? We did that because we created the network, international, regional, local law enforcement agencies. Doing this, we have also harnessed the powers of ICT, canine sniffer dog, and non-intrusive inspection using highly sophisticated scanners.
Narcotics for a total market value of more than 6 billion rupees have been seized by the Customs Department during the last 15 years. MRA Customs has spared no effort in having recourse to latest, innovative, state-of-the-art technologies meeting international best practices. Conscious of the changing climatic environment and threats such as extreme poor weather conditions, the MRA has armed itself in line with the National Disaster Scheme 2016 to ensure business continuity through an integrated, robust disaster management framework. Right from the beginning, the MRA has reckoned the importance of the people factor in the accomplishment of daily tasks, thus putting people first in all its endeavors.
At the MRA, it is our people who are the most important asset. And this is why we trust our people. We care for them, we engage them, and we empower them. We give them all the required support and resources for them to excel, and they give the best for the MRA.
During these challenging times, supervisors at all levels at the MRA have vowed to engage employees' hearts and minds. The latest taxpayer satisfaction survey has revealed that 90% of taxpayers are fully satisfied with the quality of service offered by the MRA. MRA has recourse to the most effective ways of communicating with stakeholders. A user-friendly website, the Taxpayer Mailing Service, MRA Facebook page, Twitter account, short explanatory videos in Creole and English, daily 1-minute radio programs, regular presence in radio, TV, and in newspapers. We also attend to queries via emails and phone calls. All these initiatives add to the word of mouth in the dissemination of information.
The MRA is convinced that it would need a new breed of employees who are not only conversant with bookkeeping and tax auditing technique, but are familiar and competent in new information technology tools and are also efficient in e-economy and the commerce which is growing in the world.
MRA's business model already inspires many revenue authorities across the world. However, as Mr. Lal points out, in the coming 4 years, this model will be different, involving further breakthrough innovations.
After 15 years of operations, the MRA is now in a position to move into the next stage of transformation of its tax revenue administration process. We have been tapping the benefits of information technology mainly for the benefit of our stakeholders. We will now focus more on using IT in our tax compliance strategy.
The MRA will soon be implementing the e-invoicing project, which in a nutshell is the e-reporting of all sales invoices by businesses in real time to the tax authority.
To make things more interesting, we have cryptocurrency, e-invoicing, machine learning, and artificial intelligence that are being seriously considered for the MOA future strategy.
Teamwork, collaboration, participation, and learning are more than ever the guiding principles that will help the MRA implement a new proactive business model.
Through our dynamic capacity building initiatives, we are grooming a new breed of employees, highly skilled and innovative to meet the challenges ahead.
With the high volume of transaction data available in-house, the MRA has started recruiting data analysts and data scientists to maintain its position as a world-class tax administration.
A team of ICT professionals with proven expertise keeps all the stakeholders of the MRA connected.
MOA has put in place the best hardware and software solutions available on the market in order to cater the increasing demanding needs of all our stakeholders.
With the same vigor, we're going to address future challenges such as intelligence-based anti-narcotics anti-money strategies, blockchain-enabled bill of lading, and integrated single window for further trade facilitation.
The concept of the ICCC gives an idea of the model envisioned by the MRA. The imminent advent of the MRA Revenue House with all its enhanced features will allow MRA officers to evolve in a new and modern workplace environment, very much conducive to offering the smartest services to taxpayers and further serve as a model to the world.
In the years to come, the MRA has the intention to further promote the work-from-home concept and introduce e-audit software packages to facilitate this process. Similarly, the auditing of taxpayers will undergo further changes as we gradually promote lifestyle audits, computer auditing, automated assessments, electronic record keeping, and cooperative compliance.
The Mauritius Revenue Authority will further enhance its status of a world-class revenue authority for the people and by the people. And it is more than ever positioned to meet further challenges for a prosperous Mauritius.
Thank you for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, today is also the International Customs Day, and it is a tradition to reward deserving stakeholders and customs officers for their contribution by awarding certificates of merit. This year, for obvious reasons, we could not present the certificates during the ceremony. The following stakeholders and officers have been awarded the WCO Certificate of Merit. Mr. Dujanaden Monikam, Director, Human Resource and Training Department. Mr. Maheshwar Ganput, Section Head, Customs Department. Mr. Uttam Arnam, Assistant Director, Finance and Administration. Mr. Intish Goriba, Team Leader, Finance and Administration. Mrs. Maria Magali Kathleen Narayanan, Technical Officer, Customs. Mr. Mitreshwarnath Gokula, Technical Officer Customs, Mr. Arman Samachan, Customs Officer 1, Mr. Ganesan Mutuviren, Customs Officer 1, Mr. Robert Laval Désiré Russi, Inspector National Coast Guard, and the following officers were awarded with a certificate of merit for having discovered a newborn baby in an airplane bin on 1st January 2022. Thanks to their quick response, the baby was saved and the mother was subsequently identified. Mr. Vel Munier, Technical Officer Customs, Mr. Gautam Kaniram, Customs Officer 2, Mr. Kishan Julha, Customs Officer 2, Mr. Hans Ramu, Customs Officer 2, Mr. Selvan Lachmanen, Customs Officer 1, Mr. Kaviraj Biari, Customs Officer 1, Police Constable Eshan Mago of the ADSU, Mrs. Joëlle Manuela Gérard Benjamin, Cabin Crew, Air Mauritius. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the MRA, I now have the pleasure and privilege to invite the Honorable Pravin Kumar Jagannath, Prime Minister, to deliver his keynote address on this occasion.
Colleague ministers, member of the National Assembly, the chairperson and members of the board of the Mauritius Revenue Authority, Director General of the MRA, the Director of Customs, representative of the MRA Staff Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very glad to be amongst you today to commemorate the International Customs Day and inaugurate the Integrated Customs Clearing Center building. Let me at the outset convey my best wishes to all customs officers on this very special occasion. I would also like to express my gratitude to you, customs officers, for contributing to the success of the MRA as a world-class organization. Established in 2006, the MRA has built an impressive track record of innovative successes in fields ranging from tax collection to trade facilitation. The fact that it has remitted revenues amounting to almost 1 trillion rupees to the consolidated fund is a measure of its efficiency. More specifically, the MRA's Customs Department has served the country well by protecting our citizens against illicit drugs, hazardous goods, and illicit practices. Its commitment to make our society safer and more secure has improved the well-being of citizens. Customs officers have used state-of-the-art cargo X-ray scanners to efficiently and effectively detect smuggled and prohibited goods in a non-intrusive manner, scanning more than 400,000 containers in the last financial year. The Customs Department has made unprecedented seizures of different types of drugs and psychotropic substances worth more than 5 billion rupees during the past 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, government will continue to provide unwavering support to the MRA to acquire the latest tools, equipment, and technology to further boost our fight against the trafficking of illicit drugs and narcotics. Customs constitute an essential service and have been operating 24/7 during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. They had to take timely and decisive measures to ensure supply chain and business continuity all along. The role of customs in the clearance of medicines and relief consignments during this emergency situation must be highlighted. Customs administrations had to deploy staff from home and harness the power of digital processes through internet-based customs management systems to cope efficiently with the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year's International Customs Day is scaling up customs digital transformation by embracing data culture and building a data ecosystem. This commemoration is therefore an opportunity for the customs community to engage in discussions about moving towards a fully digital environment. There is a need for creating an operational model that captures and exploits data from across the trade ecosystem. The focus nowadays is to make data move instead of people. Digital technology is at the center of today's economic development, and there is no doubt that the COVID-19 pandemic is amplifying the adoption of digitalization and new technologies, be it at work or in our day-to-day life. there is a pressing need for businesses and governments to adapt to advancements in digital technology. Embracing technology is no longer an option, but a necessity. In addition to scanners at the port and airport, MRA Customs is using drones, fast interceptor boats, CCTV systems, and data processing tools and systems, amongst others. Extensive use of new technologies has helped it enhance risk management and fraud detection capabilities. MRA Customs is working on a major digital project, the Integrated Single Window Project, which will further reduce dwell time and the cost of doing business. This will be yet another major trade facilitation project, which will bring numerous benefits to the trade community and its stakeholders. It will revamp the existing electronic data interchange system and enable the single submission of documents for processing of permits and clearance of goods, while eliminating duplication of business processes across the agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, the inauguration of the Integrated Customs Clearance Center building today marks another milestone in trade facilitation in Mauritius. This state-of-the-art building will be a one-stop shop for air cargo clearance. One important attribute of this building is that it will house several border agencies under one roof. Ministries and departments involved in the clearance of goods will have offices in the building, in line with the concept of coordinated border management. This means that stakeholders will be able to conduct transactions such as application for permits, paying of fees, duty and taxes, as well as clearance of goods in this single building. The coordinated border management will be highly beneficial to the trading community in terms of reduced transactions costs through expedited processing and clearance times and reduced waiting times for moving from one agency to another. All these factors will contribute towards reducing the cost of doing business. This new building will provide MRA Customs and other governmental agencies with a modern work environment that provides all the necessary comfort and facilities. At the same time, the trading community will benefit from a value-added service. I must point out that the Integrated Customs Clearance Center project is part of a major development plan in the airport area, which includes the setting up of a cargo village and an extension of the free port zone. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected most of our economic sectors, and today we are facing the challenge of economic recovery. More than ever, we have to work hand in hand in a spirit of patriotism and contribute towards the economic recovery process. This process requires the patriotic efforts of every individual and every organization. Our country needs to bind together to recover and rebuild stronger than ever before. We have been hard hit. The road to recovery will be steep, but by taking this journey together, I am confident that we will be able to bounce back soon. I urge the MRA to continue to respond decisively and innovatively so as to contribute to a faster recovery. I thank you for your kind attention.
Now we will kindly request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch the magazine of the MRA to commemorate the 15 years of its existence. The magazine does not only spell out the achievements of the MRA for the last 15 years, but also reflects on the challenges awaiting us for the years to come. Thank you, Prime Minister. For the planting of a tree. The scientific name of the tree is Pyrostria cordifolia. The common name is Bois de Feu of the Rubiaceae family. The plant has been offered by the National Parks and Conservation Service of the Ministry of Agro, Industry and Food Security, and it is adapted to the condition of this area.